Sally Rainey, ladies and gentlemen, for a start, let me just say how privileged and how grateful I am you've given me this opportunity to address you all this evening. I do have to underscore, Sally, you are a legend for pulling us all together, for drawing such huge attention to these very critical, all of Anthropocene critical issues. So thank you, Sally. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to address you on the health of our oceans. They are fundamental to all human life. You might think of it as seafood, but when I think of it, I think of the entire ecosystem. I think of the fact that we are polluting our oceans. We are poisoning them with plastic. We are fishing them out. And every time we wipe out an ecosystem of phytoplankton, you're kissing goodbye to the oxygen you're going to rely on to breathe. We, in fact, need healthy oceans for every second breath of oxygen we ever take. So it should be of great concern to all of us when we know, and we know now, that our oceans are under enormous threat. The latest global assessment report on biodiversity and ecosystem services reveals that 2/3 of the world's oceans are now specifically impacted negatively by human activity. And we know that around 35% of all critical marine habitats, such as seagrasses, mangroves and coral reefs, have been destroyed. That's a huge word, have been destroyed. Not only does this loss of marine habitat delay the recovery of overfished populations, it also removes the shoreline protections, boosting the impact of sea level rise and, of course, the impact on all the world's coastal communities. Now, sadly, conservative estimates also suggest that 1/3 of the world's fish populations are currently overexploited, which is a really significant contributor to the decline in ocean biodiversity. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sharing with you scientific numbers, but from my own PhD research, I'm also letting you know these published numbers are conservative, and there's a tidal wave of destruction coming over and above overfishing. And sadly, that is pollution, which we all know is plastic. But returning to current fishing rates, fishing subsidies, forced labour, you heard it, forced labour, that's modern slavery in the fishing industry continue. And if they go to the same rate they are now, ladies and gentlemen, by 2025, the impact on our food security from the seas will be catastrophic. By 2050, 88% of all fish stocks are expected to be in peril. But you know, scientists love to quote 2050. I don't. I like to talk to you about 2025, here and now. We are accelerating the negative impact of overfishing and particularly pollution on our oceans. By 2025, the oceans will be unrecognizable. The severity, the pace of ocean damage by humans makes it incredibly challenging to design effective ocean conservation. To improve this, we need more and better data. Now, in the process of completing a 3.5-year PhD, I've been measuring the oceans with as much effort, energy, and talent as I could muster in my whole laboratory. And if we just repeated everything I did for the next 300 years, we wouldn't even get around 1/2 of Australia's exclusive economic zone. Ladies and gentlemen, if we're going to be able to stop the hideous problem of overfishing, of ocean pollution, design methods which governments, philanthropists and others are going to accept, then we need much better data. The way we're going, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to destroy our oceans before we can even measure what we destroyed. So I'm here to talk to you about a solution before it's too late. The Flourishing Oceans Initiative is proposing the development of a revolutionising ocean measurement project. We've nicknamed it ROMP. This groundbreaking new research ship will continue existing and emerging technologies to address the needs of our ocean. ROMP will take advantage of all renewable power sources. I particularly love hydrogen. We have incorporated technology from the CSIRO, which allows us to convert hydrogen to ammonia and back up to hydrogen. So the problem of transporting hydrogen now is a thing of the past. We have robotic automation, we have augmented intelligence and machine learning. All of this, ladies and gentlemen, used to be, of course, scary new words. Now We all know these words, it's part of our everyday lexicon, but are we bringing this technology into measuring the oceans all together in one vessel? No, it's sporadic, it's spasmodic. We don't have a collective approach, which is why measurement of the oceans is so archaic and needs a new vision, a carbon neutral, plastic-free design that will support multiple autonomous sampling vessels for collecting data. Now, ROMP will harness AI to process the information it gathers. This will enable predictable mapping of the state of our oceans in near to real time. Baited remote underwater videos, known as BRUVs, will measure the distribution, abundance and behaviour of ocean wildlife populations. So I want to introduce you to one of my favourite animals. This is a little shark called Twiggy. She has one of our baited remote underwater videos in her mouth. She's having a real chew at this. She's saying, oh my goodness, nictitating, biting, it's not coming off. It doesn't even taste that good. I'm going to take a bigger bite of it. You can see her gills working hard there, sucking in the oxygen. It's like breathing through a straw if you're a shark. You don't want to waste energy, so now she's just going to take a bigger bite of it and perhaps get rid of it. Perhaps just say, hey, what's going on here? Maybe I should just remove it completely. Yuck, it doesn't taste so good. Now I need a toothpick. Lovely little toothpick. Now I'm off. Now what is this over here? So, ladies, gentlemen, and particularly our convener, Sally Rayner, we need to thoroughly convert the oceans, which is right now very poorly understood, to intimate understanding. We need a vessel which will provide a clear picture to the extent of human damage on our ocean ecosystems. I believe that within the next 3 years, either North America or Australia or Europe, and I'll be driving it hard for all of us to have it developed here in Australia, but the vessel will be designed by people in your room, by experts from Woods Hole and other great scientific marine institutions across North America, Europe and Australia, because we cannot work in isolation. Government, industry and public engagement is needed to use the data which ROMP collects to establish the processes and policies required to restore our oceans back to health. Marine protected areas, for instance, need to be expanded and strengthened. Stricter penalties need to be enforced for illegal, undocumented fishing, and forced labour in the fishing industry needs to be completely wiped out. It must be identified, it must be eradicated. So, ladies and gentlemen, I leave you with this. Our oceans must become our global priority. It is responsible for every second breath we take. By capturing, synthesizing, accurate analysis of the state of our oceans, ROMP will provide the crucial first step for immediate action. We can only manage what we can measure, ladies and gentlemen. Let's harness technology, let's capture the information, and let's move on the management to save our oceans. We need to protect our oceans, ladies and gentlemen. We need to say no to unrecycled plastic. We need to say yes to measurement, and we need to drive the information we need to have appropriate marine parks around the world to maintain species biodiversity and abundance. It's not a choice, ladies and gentlemen. We have to do it.